but yeah, the sequels, Incredibles 2,
I
Finding
mean, the
Dory,
top
Toy Story
4
3.
are sequels.
Yeah.
Number 8 is a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Number 8 is a prequel.
Yep, and then Toy Story 2 at number 11. I'm actually kind of surprised that Cars 2 and 3 are, in the bottom half.
I don't know. I don't know if they're franchises or like.
I could have sworn they were, the way that they were cranking these movies out.
I mean, obviously they have a fan base. Like they're building a Cars land in Disney. Like they have a fan base that like exists.
They're dedicating a whole portion of a park. What are they getting rid of?
Magic Kingdom.
What, are they getting rid of something, or are they just adding on to
Yeah, the rumor is that it's Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America over there. I mean, not Rivers of America. I don't know, the Liberty Boat.
Is that the Hall of Presidents?
Like that section.
That area?
I mean, in that area.
Oh, they're not going to get rid of the whole thing. Just they're going to.
No, just like the water and the island, and like build backwards from there.
I mean, anything probably should be over there at this point than some of that stuff.
I gotta respect the fact that they kept Hall of Presidents there. Like,
right?
What is going on?
I don't know.
It was there
for now until
it's updated every year
until they got to put in. There is a Cars ride though, right? Isn't there a Lightning? Did they change that racetrack thing in Epcot to Cars a long time ago?
No, that's in
Disneyland.
Yeah, California Adventure. I think.
Okay. What is the thing? What is that race car thing in Epcot? Is it just
Test Track?
Test Track, yeah. Is it not? I kept wanting to say Fast Track.
It's just called. It's still a Test Track. It's being like remodeled, but it's still Test Track.
Like it's just its own thing, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Interesting. That seems. Well,
it was Test Track, sponsored by Dodge, I think, last. Or, yeah. It just like keeps getting sponsors, and like then they change the ride.
Weird. That seems like a very easy thing to just turn into a Cars ride, but sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about the movie Cars too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday is the anime senpai himself. Some call him Martini Mike, Mr. Michael Zier. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I mean, Cars 2 was like a spy thriller starring Mater. What was going on?
I don't know.
And
Larry the Cable Guy was hot shit. I don't know.
Wait, to be fair, Mike, you have October's pick. We can find out.
We can find out.
We can find out what was going on.
I can skip Cars 1 and go straight to Cars 2. That's where it really picks up steam with the Cars lore.
I mean,
and the big.
We could do a triple feature.
We don't need to because Mike. I'm pretty sure Mike's first pick was like, I'm gonna say Metal Gear, Mission Impossible like 5. So Mike's no stranger to just dropping us hot into a series.
I maintain that Ghost Protocol is a fucking dope film.
I didn't think it was a bad film. But
I'm glad picking that one. I mean, I could have gone with like Mission Impossible 2 or 3. Which one had Philip Seymour Hoffman?
3.
3? Yeah. I mean, 3 was fun.
Okay. Well,
but
you didn't.
No, I stand by it.
You went with Shaun of the Dead instead. Forget his name.
I mean, I think he actually did. Was he in 3? No, I don't think so. I think he did start full. I don't remember.
Why is he in? Is he his sidekick in from 3 onward?
I mean, yeah, he's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's his name? Why can't I remember his name?
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Thank you. Also joining us, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Mr. Gonna buy the entire Incredibles pack when we're done with this episode, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Nah, I'm good. I feel like it's weird that we're talking about Cars and not the Superior movie, which is Planes.
You would.
I don't even know if it's a joke or not.
Apologist. You fucking Dane Cook apologist.
Dane Cook would be a fucking plane. I'm assuming he's a plane in the movie. Maybe he's not. I don't know.
It'd be weird for him to be in the movie Planes and not be a plane.
Well, I'm sure there are like helicopters and other.
No, he just
fucking
plays himself.
things.
He plays himself.
Yeah, he's just him.
Yeah, this is
He's
Dave.
just a human Dane Cook in a CGI plane world.
Where'd all these planes come from?
That's how stand-up was back in 2010 or whenever he was big.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me if that was a Dan Cook bit. Plain Cook. Sapphire Jade in the chat. That's very
Plane
funny.
Cook, solid.
It was
Make
right
that
there.
It was. And rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40 Dom. How are you doing tonight?
Here.
Love to hear it. We had a great show for you tonight. If you are not aware, this is the PTC Movie Club for September. It is Todd's pick, and it was a double feature, Clerks 1 and 2. So if you haven't watched Clerks 1 and 2, make sure that you... we're not talking about Clerks.
I don't care. I'll talk about Clerks 1 and 2 if you want.
Yeah, I'll do
I didn't
that.
watch them this month, but
I was hoping...
I think I can run with it.
I was hoping to catch one of you off guard and be like, wait, what? We're watching Clerks? But no, we are watching It Follows. So if you haven't watched It Follows yet, or you have watched it, have not watched It Follows and don't care about spoilers, regardless, we're going to talk about It Follows right now for the rest of this episode. So if you don't want anything to be spoiled for you, this is your chance to back out. But before we get into the movie episode, I'm going to quickly shut my window because people are screaming outside.
Ooh. All right, quick. What's the box office?
I kind of want to pick Dogma as a movie just because there's no way to watch it.
Yeah, right. Didn't they just like get rights back to it or something like that?
I think so.
Someone's got rights.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
A couple of quick housekeeping things. The PTC Movie Club pick for October is, of course, Mike's pick. I don't know if you want to say that now. Or is this the end of the episode jam?
Do it.
Maybe the end of the episode, because like I had locked in something early on, but now I'm like, oh, it's October. Maybe I should pick something more Halloween.
Yes. You listen. You've been
Mike, we just watched
banger
It
after
Follows.
banger from Mike. So like,
No.
I have faith in Mike. You know, like
Mike's the only one
Todd,
picking
don't
good
put-
movies.
Don't put this on me. Hey, They Come Together was also really
wait
good.
till we watch
I'm sorry, I
Terrifier
misspoke.
1 through.
Todd's the only one picking bad movies.
Wait till we watch Terrifier 1 through 3. Fucking for my next pick, triple feature.
Can't wait. Dom, did you see the text that I sent you? Completely off topic, that the Creep show is apparently incredible?
I'm not surprised. Like I said, Creep 2, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes still.
So I have a feeling you're
Yeah,
gonna really
because
enjoy
one
it.
person watched it because they're the only person that wants to see it. They're like, oh, this is really good.
3 reviews.
The thing that I was reading, it was like a series of tweets from friend of the show, Kate Sanchez. I think they said that it was like, it was supposed to be a movie and it got like they didn't, I don't know who makes the production studio that publishes the movie or whatever, but they apparently passed on it or whatever it was, and then he turned it into that show. So,
Did you see how they were promoting it, like leading up?
no.
It was just videos, like it was essentially just like home videos of like video recording, like somebody like in their bedroom, and then like somebody like watching somebody like eat through their window and stuff, as if like he was just putting up videos of like a creep, like just somebody like videotaping somebody changing in their bedroom.
He is a wild man. I will not watch that show, but I'm glad it's there for you because it sounds like it's good. But a couple of quick housekeeping things. Mike's pick, we'll talk about at the end of the episode. So I don't know if you didn't watch It Follows and you're still listening to this for some reason. You can find out what Mike's pick is next week, I guess. I think that's all I got for housekeeping. Because it's October, Halloween's a big deal over here. So the episode for October might be not the last week. I didn't know what day of the week Halloween falls on. Do we know? Does anyone know? It's up there?
I'll look right now.
Thursday. So I would imagine that weekend is probably not going to be a regular episode or movie episode or anything. I don't know what's going to happen that week. So we'll see what happens with the movie pick. But I would expect it to probably not be when you, listener, would expect it to be there. So I apologize in advance. But without further ado, let's just hop right into Todd's pick, It Follows. And as we do with all of these movie episodes, we are going to pull up the box office So, according to Google search, because I didn't see it on Box Office Mojo, with a budget of 1.3 million, what are we thinking this took home in the box office? Todd, it's your pick.
I honestly don't know, and I don't know like if this. I feel like I'll say 65.
1,000 or a million, or what are you doing here?
Oh, something million. I don't know if this was like released independently. I can't remember if it had like worldwide like theater.
I mean, this is not points. I'm not going to give more information. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
65 million.
Mike, what are you thinking?
I do feel like this had good word of mouth, and it probably did well enough with a what'd you say for budget?
1.2.
1.2. Like, really anything is like good for it, but I feel like
Right.
I feel like 30 million is good enough because I believe I read that it's getting a sequel, so clearly it did well. I don't know if it did 65 well, but I could be wrong. The
Okay.
fuck do I know?
What about you, Dom? What are you thinking? 1.2 mil. Opened in March of 2015.
Like even 15 million is like
I
fucking
know.
bonkers for a film like that, but I feel
I know, and it's a horror movie.
Yeah, horrors usually do well, especially like well-reviewed horrors.
And
so.
I don't
I know,
know.
but
Are horror
a
movies
box-
usually
a
long? Because
box
this was a
office.
decently long film. It was like an hour
140.
40. Is
Yeah,
that? I don't know if horror movies are usually. Are horror movies
That's
usually
not too
shorter?
long.
I feel like they're normally shorter.
They're
Maybe
like
not.
no, that's like a standard runtime. Usually like an hour and a half. It's a little bit
Okay.
over an hour and a half.
Maybe older horror movies are shorter. Maybe I'm just
Yeah,
talking out my ass.
definitely.
I don't fucking
Older
know.
movies are shorter.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
In general.
All right, fair.
I don't know.
split the diff.
I mean, this is for all of the points
Yeah.
tonight. So if you get it wrong, you
It
get 0
is.
points. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go above whatever Todd said. I'll just go high.
I was gonna say 80.
All right,
So
we'll put Dom at a 66.
Greater than 65.
I mean, that's
Well,
I should do that for more often.
you all went over, but I
Was it
still
like
think
15?
I still think it would be considered a success with 1.2 million. It took in just shy of 22 million, which again, that's a lot of millions over the budget. So I would imagine that's considered a success for them. And then our old rot Tom, what are we thinking, Todd? For
I already know that. So
Todd's a little asshole.
I'm
What are you thinking, Mike? For the tomato meter, and then the newly named popcorn meter.
Oh,
I don't know when
popcorn
it
is
actually
good.
changed names, but
I think it did. I think that happened a while ago. All right. So tomato meter, I'm gonna go 80. I feel like I always gravitate towards the same numbers, and I don't know what I normally
Same.
pick. I don't know how to like change that.
you feel what you feel, Mike.
Yeah, I want to say, you know what? 90. I'm gonna split the difference between the numbers that I was thinking about.
Okay. What do you
And
think about
then-
popcorn?
Popcorn? I might even say 95.
Oh, okay. Mike thinks the users liked it more. Dom, what are you thinking?
I was
Tomato,
honestly gonna say 90. I'm gonna go 90-85.
90-85. Okay. Well, you're both said 90, so you're tied with that. It had a 95, certified fresh, 95. But the audience, not so much. 66%.
every horror movie that doesn't have like severe gore, if it doesn't have like that like super like scariness, just like like Hereditary, all those horror movies. Like I don't want to say art house movies, but I feel like this is more of like an independent kind of horror movie. All those movies always are like split with fucking the audience.
I feel, and it's always in critic favor, has the higher score.
For like the art house like horror movies.
I want to dunk on this take right now. I feel like
I mean,
that's
art
already-
house. I feel like that. I feel like Todd probably has a point there. I feel like if it was
No, like
art
these
house-
these art house horror movies always are like like the review like look up Hereditary. It's like
Hold
a
on.
huge
So
disparity.
I don't want to just feed into your narrative. I want someone else
Yeah,
to
oh,
throw
okay.
something out that just that
I'm trying to think of something
shuts
else
us
that
down. Nope is an 83.69, so that is on
Yeah.
Todd's side. Hereditary.
What about the one with Justin Long?
Hereditary is a
Barbarian.
90.71.
Or Barbarian.
Barbarian. That's
Barbarian is a 92.71.
Do Malignant.
We gotta break
Malignant.
this. There's got to be a movie.
Do-
that breaks
do-
No,
this.
I think Todd has a
Malignant.
solid
yeah.
point.
I feel like it's a fair take. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty
Double
generally.
check Malignant though. 'Cause I want to know what.
And then I feel like the other way, like if it's a super gory movie, then it's probably like lower, lower
Yes,
critic and
yeah.
higher.
It's a 77.52.
Yep.
So I guess what this really means is that I'm gonna discount. Well, actually, I don't want to make this call, but like maybe Todd's more critic, like, hey, this is really good, and then Brendan's more audience, like, this is really bad. Did
you check Midsummer?
Okay, Mike, did you like this movie?
Oh, actually, wait,
I didn't want to like.
Oh, now you don't want to jump
I
in the
just
mix
know-
here. Okay.
I just know that you don't like it based off of your comments for the last 10 minutes, and Todd really likes it because he recommended it. I don't want to. I don't want to drag
Midsummer's the same.
Dom
Mike,
or
you're
I.
a dirty
I don't
dog
wanna-
right now.
I don't want to speak for Dom. I don't want to speak for Dom, and I didn't want to.
And you don't want to
Did you
speak for
check
yourself.
Midsummer?
I didn't.
Oh yeah,
check
check Midsummer.
Megan is a
Midsommar might-
93.78.
Midsummer might break it.
No, I think that's low for audience.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
Midsummer
Probably in the
is
60s.
an 83.63.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that breaks it.
I'm trying to think. What else is there?
I don't know. I don't know
Not-
horror movies like
not-
that.
I'm trying to think. What about Beau's Afraid? I don't know if Beau was critically acclaimed though, so I don't know about that one.
Beau
What
is
was
Afraid.
Did Men come out? Was that the name of the movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Beau is
And that
Afraid
was.
67.71.
Oh wow. Okay. Do Men.
Men.
Yeah, I was
That's
just gonna
Jesse
say
Buckley
Men too.
and Rory Kilmore or something.
There's only like 2 characters in the movie. Yeah, it's
Oh.
like 2 or 3.
It came out 2022. That movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Garland, I think.
69.39.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. I thought that was like critics.
What
liked it.
what other?
What
what's
about
the-
Mother?
What's
What
the
about
other
Mother?
Jordan Peele horror movie?
That's
Is it
definitely
Us?
Us?
Yeah. I think everyone liked the first one though. Get
Mother
Out.
with Jennifer Lawrence. Tom, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. That's the audience hated that movie. I guarantee it.
68.51. What was the other thing I just said? Us.
Yeah.
Us is a 93.61. Wow, people do not like Jordan Peele's movies. I liked Nope. I thought Nope was great.
I think Nope's
So
fucking
no,
phenomenal.
Mike, I don't fall on the fucking audience side every time.
But I think this comes down to like a lot of the people who are reviewing a lot of the user people. I think their issue is there's not enough jump scares and it's like slow moving. And I think a lot of these horror movies that I've been picking and like Jordan Peele movies are slow burns. So people do not like slow burns.
I mean,
they want like they
I
off
don't want to start to get into the how it all functions, but there is something to be said for a system like the popcorn meter that anybody can go on and just be very
100%.
positive or be very negative.
Yeah.
Not that devalues people's opinions, but like I don't think for us, for example, out of the 554 reviews for the critic side, I don't think there's anybody that's just going in there and being super high or super low on purpose.
Right.
Whereas out of the 10,000 plus on the popcorn meter, yeah, I'm sure there's a good amount of people on both sides of that are fluffing it. So.
And I think that's my problem with horror films. I don't want to say problem, but like, I definitely mentioned this one of the times that we've done one of these films, probably one of Todd's picks, but it might have been a Dom pick, where I'm like, I think this movie is saying something, but I don't get what it's saying. Like, I'm just not connecting these dots. So I can only take it at face value where I look at it and go, I don't like feeling these feelings.
Yeah.
Look at
Whatever-
Long Legs.
whatever's
Long Legs
doing.
is another one too. Long Legs is like user reviews are like I know that people didn't like that.
I'm desperate now to not put myself in either of these camps because I don't conform to being A or B, Mike. I just want to take it as my own thing. Asteroid City has a 76.62. Asteroid City was a fucking banger. So
Yep.
I'm not in either of those camps.
Another one. It's another one that's
Yeah,
what
but
was the
Asteroid
movie you
City
just told me
was
to look
not.
No, I
Long
know,
Legs.
but I'm just looking. I knew that movie did not have great whatever. Sorry, what was the movie you told me to look up?
Long Legs.
Long Legs. Is it one word? It must be one word.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know who's in it
85.60.
besides.
Yeah. People don't
Look
like
up
slow
Creep
burns,
too.
I'm telling you.
And
Look
it's
up Creep
weird.
too.
Because, oh yeah, it's weird because like I.
Oh wait, it has the same actress. The lead actress is in
Yeah,
Long Legs.
yeah.
Oh okay.
He's also in another movie I watched recently that was really good too, The Watcher.
Creep 2. 100% 72.
100% Mark Duplass. One person.
Creep 1, 91, 66. Anyways. What are we doing?
The bad review for Creep 1, Steve Raziz, whatever it is.
Ranazizi.
Anyways, what are we doing? We're just talking about scores. So that brings us to just the movie itself. It Follows. If you're still even here listening to us talk about this movie. Todd, it's your movie.
It is my movie.
What do you think?
I love it. I love rewatching. I made Amanda rewatch it last night too. It's like, no, I don't want to watch this. I already remember this.
It's a bad movie.
She didn't remember half of the movie though. But no, I love, especially the fact that it's like this movie was made on 1.5 million is kind of insane. I think that it reminds me a lot of Longlegs with like the music and like the synthesizer music that they use throughout that move, like to like tense up the scenes and everything. I do love that aspect of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a quite unique movie in a sea of like. I think this is why I kind of like these kind of horror movies, because I feel like there's not much to compare this movie to, unless I'm.
Did your opinion change on it up or down, or
no? Same. I love this movie. I think it's a great movie. I'm surprised critics liked it, to be honest with you, though. Well, maybe not. Maybe I mean.
What about you, Dom? What are you thinking of It Follows?
So I was gonna say that I feel like critics probably like it because it harkens back to like classic, like not classic, but like 70s, 80s horror movies. That's what the music, like the synth music made. So when this movie started, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes in, I was like, oh, I get real John Carpenter vibes out of this. Like Halloween, like The Thing. It's like that kind of like style movie. And then as the movie went on, I was like, oh, there's a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street in this movie too. Like the group of kids like trying to like fend off a thing that they don't really understand.
Stay awake and just like keep on their toes.
So
I'm confused though.
I really liked the movie. It was like a classic horror movie, like almost timeless kind of, because like the movie takes place in the 80s.
No. There's someone on a cell phone at the beginning, and then everyone else is.
That girl is always on a fucking Kindle like clamshell thing.
I know, but all of the cars are all old.
All the cars are old.
Although Detroit is destroyed, so I guess it's not the 80s.
It's gonna be Detroit, late 90s. It's probably like late 90s. Because that.
What'd you say about Detroit, Mike?
Me? I said that's just how Detroit looks.
Not when it was booming.
Not when it was booming.
Listen,
but
you never want to go south of 8 Mile. If
B-Rabbit
taught me anything.
There was a point where I was like, the main character, whose name I found out very late into the film, Jay. She was wearing a shirt, and I was trying to place it because I thought it was a Smashing Pumpkins album cover. I don't think it was, but it looked familiar. And I was trying to use that to place a time frame, even though, again, we established that one girl had future technology.
Yeah, some sort of
in her hand.
Yeah,
and like it's never addressed.
I don't think that's kind of the point. Is like it doesn't really need to.
It doesn't need to be addressed, but like I think they did that deliberately.
Doesn't the girl at the beach calls her father on a cell phone?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But there's no other cell phones after that. Like I'm thinking
all of the other technology in the movie is old. It's all like tube television. Like it's all very old.
Yeah. We think is 1999 considered super old at this point? Like I don't know. Like
I mean, it's 25 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah. When the movie came out, not as much.
Yeah.
1995 is still 20 years at that point. It came out in 2015, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't dislike the mismatch of technology and imagery in setting that way, because I do think that because like sometimes I feel like it's very easy for a movie, especially in retrospect, to, unless it's trying to be a timepiece, like it's supposed to be that way, it's very easy to be like, okay, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and it might pull you out of it in some way, where I think this sort of, I don't know, maybe for us specifically, it still pulled us out of it, because we were like, why does this lady have a clamshell Kindle? But
it made me feel like the movie's kind of like a dream in some ways, because like it's just,
that's what I was reading from people. Yeah. Like,
oh really?
I was looking up not reviews necessarily, but I just want to see what people were saying.
Yeah.
And I think either the director or maybe it was just people in general saying like it's supposed to follow like dream logic sort of, where like it doesn't. Yeah, dream logic. I can't
I understand what you're
elaborate
saying.
further than that.
I also feel like if it doesn't tell you a time period and like you see like a tube TV and then you see like a Kindle and then you see like an old car and then you see a cell phone,
Right.
you're like, oh, like there's no getting comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you can't put yourself in like a time period and be like, okay, so this is like
And
modern
then-
day.
Yeah.
And
Like
then,
you just keep like it keeps you on your toes almost.
and then you just have to kind of accept the logic, like the regular logic of the creature, whatever you want to call it, rather than try and poke holes into like, oh, why don't they just like take a picture or like, look up online, hey, what's going on with this thing that's following me, or like, is anyone posting about it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like put it into like a specific time frame. It's just like, this is just a world where this happened.
It
Yeah.
does seem like it's a internetless world, because I mean, again, especially young kids, I would imagine the first thing would have been like what you just said. Let me look this up. Let me Google this. Let me go on the forums and find out like whatever urban myth, like you know what I mean, like shit like that.
Yeah.
And or again, it's just it doesn't exist in that world. Like it's just not that technology just doesn't matter what time period it is. It's just not a thing that they can do. There was a lot of, I don't say maybe not a lot, but there was at least like 2 or 3 scenes where there was a TV playing in the background that sounded like a news clip.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was also maybe something to pinpoint where or when it's happening. I didn't pay too much attention
It
to
only
that.
gave us as far as, and then like another character I mentioned 8 Mile specifically. So like we knew it was like Detroit area. That was the only thing we really knew.
Yeah.
This movie has the biggest, most down bad character ever portrayed in a movie with
Dude,
Paul.
Paul,
This
I'm
dude
like,
is just always
the
just so
entire time, like, Paul, I get it. I
he's
get
like,
it.
"We have
but
sex with me now? How about now?"
I get it. Like you want to smash, and you don't care about the consequences.
Desperation.
But like
he's watching every other guy, and he's like, "Motherfucker."
But I'm like, dude, you don't strike me. And granted, the end of the film kind of addresses about like, dude, you don't strike me as a guy that can just pass this on. If you do this, you are stuck with it.
Yeah,
Why?
He,
Why
he
you
had
want
he had the idea ready.
But that idea is not.
He
That
was
idea,
scheming. He was
that
scheming.
idea is not good because those people are gone in like 2 seconds, and it's coming right back.
Well, no,
to, you
it
know?
depends because like
no,
if
they are gone. The end of the
another
movie.
client.
Well, the end of the movie shows that it.
the movie,
That-
I know, but
I
the
mean,
idea
granted,
isn't a terrible idea.
Is
Yeah.
it though? Like, is it gone though?
It's
the
not
end of
gone.
the movie.
No, the end of the movie.
Yeah, the end of
it
the movie
shows up.
implies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
It
they leave it like
implies
it
that
implies it. Like, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things.
It's
where
very
like,
much not implied, because I rewinded the end of the movie to see when they are first walking down the street, there is nothing behind them, and then when it cuts to the guy cutting his lawn, and then back to them, it's there, and it's like,
I mean, maybe someone crossed the street. It's
Nah.
not a big deal.
nah.
But like, let's say
You understand that the monster also just walks, so like it has to come from somewhere.
So I don't want to. I don't want to get
It
too
doesn't
deep.
just show up.
I don't want to get too deep in the weeds yet, but one of my biggest problems with the movie, and then again, maybe it's just the movie doesn't want you to address it that way. I do have problems with the logic of the whatever. What do we want to call it, just so we can have a term to call it for the rest of the movie?
I like the idea of calling it the sexually transmitted demon, but that might be too much.
I
You can just still call it STD.
Just call it the STD. Yeah, there you go. That's
Okay.
easy enough.
I do have some issues with the logic of how that thing functions. But before we do that, so Mike, overall, how do you feel about the movie?
I mean, I did just watch it, like,
So give us that
Just
hot, rip the Band-Aid off. What do you got?
and I cannot stress enough. I think it is a good movie that's not for me.
You get a sense of dread when you watch it.
Yes. Like I definitely felt tense. The music was a good help there, and like the fact that they established early on what this thing can do, even though we never really got the chance to see it
Right.
do it, other than with Greg and like that brief time on the beach with Jay. So It was very tense, and I was like sitting there going like, there are probably smarter plans than this, right? You could be better. But that's just how it worked for.
Yo, can you think about this though? Like, I would never be not looking behind my back. So it's like,
Oh yeah,
I don't even know if there's even a better way to handle it. Even when you
like
think you're
sleep.
safe, like
Yes, even sleeping is.
sleep wouldn't exist. Yeah, it's
Well,
and that goes back to like the like Nightmare on Elm Street element of it, like where I'd just be like fucking like
Yeah,
nope. It's like fighting for fucking my life.
yeah. Like I would never choose to watch this film myself, obviously, and I guess that's the point of this whole thing. Go fig. And having watched it, I'm like, okay, I've seen it. I sort of get it. Um, I don't think it was a bad film per se. It was just like
Not for you.
I don't typically do this. All things considered, though, like it wasn't, fucking what was the movie you mentioned earlier? Terrorizer?
Oh, Terrifier. Yeah.
Terrifier. I'm like, TER. Where am I going with this? It's not like one of those films. Like it wasn't like a horror, gory.
This is like it's like a gore
like
porn film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a tense thing that I don't necessarily need in my life, but it wasn't bad.
I'm glad it wasn't, because the first kill of the movie is like, body disconfiguration, and I'm like,
Yeah.
And
oh, great.
that was kind of wild. Like I was like,
That was like
how
the
are they gonna
peak of the
handle it?
horror in that, as far as like the violence
Exactly.
in that movie for the most part too.
Well,
Yeah.
Greg got it kind of bad.
Yes, but he kind of was like one of those things where like
Yeah.
fucking he was like Ringed. You ever see the movie The Ring? Like he was just fucking like
You know what? I did see The Ring, didn't I? Or did I see The Grudge? Maybe I saw them both.
Makes a big horror. Yeah.
Whatever.
I
So-
love that scene behind Dom. Wait, real quick though, like the scene where behind Dom. Like,
The scene. Yeah,
the first
that
time I
was
saw it was
pretty
watching that
wild.
movie. That scene was already tense. Like this, I'm talking about like first viewing of this a long time ago, and like when that part happened, like I was like, okay, I love this movie. That scene made me love the movie, just like coming out of nowhere.
Jen
Yeah.
did not watch this movie with me. Most of the time she watches the movies with me, but she was not interested, and I don't blame her, because I don't think this was a movie for either of us. But she happened to walk in the room as that scene happened, the one that's playing behind Dom, and she was like, nope, I'm good, going back outside. Like, I'm all set with whatever the fuck this is. So, Mike, general opinion, you thought it was a good movie, just not a movie for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's fair to say.
I think I fall in the same camp as you. I know I was teasing being unhappy with this film, but it's more of like I sit down to watch this movie, and when it starts, I already know like, oh, cool. Like this is just not something I'm gonna feel good about watching.
I think I'm just gonna lean heavy
Like-
into every
like,
pick's gonna be a pick like this now until you fucking say you love the movie.
Well, I'm not gonna. That's you're just some things you're just not gonna like. I'm gonna sit through it because you want me to watch it. I'll watch it, but it's like I'm not.
Like
My opinion. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say like to put it in perspective, sort of like I also don't want to watch a sad movie. Like I don't want a movie where it's like, it's all drama and emotional. Like, I also don't want to watch one of those films either.
I mean, depending on what the movie is addressing, I do want to watch that. But it depends what it is. Like, I loved Manchester by the Sea. I probably won't watch that movie ever again, but I did love that movie.
I will say this, like talking about sad and way off topic, but we watched The Wild Robot today, which I talked to you guys about before.
Yeah.
I think Amanda cried 4 times during the movie. I think I cried 3. But like not in a bad way where someone dies. Like the movie is just like really fucking good, and I was like, "Who the fuck am I?" And I'm like trying to be like folding my arms. I'm like, sitting in the theater, like no one fucking look at me.
Actually, now that I think about it, I probably can't watch The Wild Robot either, because in the grand scheme of things, for some reason, movies with robots always make me sad.
No, this is a great movie. It won't make you sad. It'll make you happy.
Did you tear up during Terminator?
I mean, Terminator 2?
Terminator 2, yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have, again, like I'll absolutely stand next to Mike on the fact that like not a movie I'm ever going to enjoy. It's just not my type of entertainment. I'm not going to be excited to watch a movie like this. I'm not going to feel comfortable watching the movie, which is part of the point of the movie, I'm sure, is to feel uncomfortable, feel uneasy. But that's just not the feeling that I want to have. And I still am kind of parsing out the themes of the movie and if I think they were handled well or did a good job. I think there's a lot of stuff that's up for interpretation. There's a lot of things that you can probably glean from things in there. Like, I think it's pretty, on the nose that it's about sexual assault, about STDs. Like, I think that's like the most overt theme that's there. There's probably a lot of other nuance and different things in there based on how Jay's relationship is with each of the people in the film. Like, Jay and is Greg the friend? Which one is the
Greg is the one across the street.
So like with Jay and Greg relationship, with Jay and Hugh from the beginning of the movie, and then whatever the Paul their relation, like it's very clearly all different. To strip it down, different types of like romantic /sexual relationships, both on the top end and bottom end.
They don't show any adults in this movie either, which I think has like a bigger meaning to it too.
Yeah,
there's like except for like the alcoholic mom, but like for the most part, like there's like adults are like not part of this film.
The adults are only part of like the adults only show up really as the creature,
as the monster.
Yeah.
Which I think also probably there's probably a quote unquote deeper meaning to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's, or it could just be what Mike said earlier, like it follows dream logic, and it's like, that means there's no authority around. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no one that can.
There's no help coming.
Yes, there's no help. It's just these kids dealing with this problem.
Oh, there were cops at the house at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's the only time. And then every other subsequent time, someone will ask Jay, should we call the police? And she always says no.
I think she just like understands that like no one believes her now.
Yeah.
Like, why would
And even with like when they go to the high school or whatever, are these people in high school? Is that ever established?
25. I think at some point
they say that they're 25 years old.
Is 25. Yeah.
Oh, I don't really.
Wait, wow.
I think at one.
Greg. I feel like the others. There's no way, but who knows? I don't know.
I feel like they made it a point to establish that I think Jay's sister should not be smoking.
Yes.
And then also like Jay had tattoos. I forget how old you have to be able to get tattoos.
18.
Although with the time
they may be different in Michigan.
It could be.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Michigan and fucking Dream 95.
Dream 95.
But I got and then like I think Greg was established to be old enough to like he said like he met that girl at a bar. Like I think I think Greg,
apparently at some point it is mentioned that Jay is 19.
Okay.
I thought I remember hearing somebody say that they were 25, so maybe it was Greg.
You know what?
Yeah.
It does probably make sense for them to be post high school though, because when they go to find out Hugh's real identity, they seemingly have to do that through a yearbook and not be like confront him at the school.
Yeah.
So at least he is post high school or doesn't go to school. But yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what we were saying before, but
yeah, I also don't know.
That one girl, Yara.
Mm-hmm.
She's asleep in almost every scene.
Yeah,
Yara
extra.
Yara could not be
bothered.
Less interested in anything else that's going on. She got shot in the leg.
Yeah,
she's like super cool with it. She's like, she's back in the hospital. Like, hey, I'm fucking reading from my clamshell.
The first time I watched this movie too, there were several times I'm like, oh, she's definitely killing someone by shooting at him. Thinking that, like, at the first watch through of this
that's
movie,
what I thought
was
like, happened too.
There was two separate times. There was a part on the beach, and then there was the part in the pool area, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
she's
I
fucking
could have
shooting
sworn
someone.
there would be more deaths in this.
Yeah. Well, there was definitely a few different times where I expected, like, oh, maybe Jay is gonna accidentally kill people because whatever,
Yeah.
and then no one's gonna believe her that there's something chasing her because she's
Yeah.
trying to defend
Right.
herself and then constantly killing someone else. I also thought that Paul was gonna shoot all of them at the end, like that whole scene. I'm like, dude, you should not be the one with the gun. Like, I know you got the job, quote unquote, done.
Paul, I did not trust Paul.
No,
I'm like, Paul, I don't know what's going on here, but you're gonna do something fucked up.
the sheet
Right.
over the guy,
It was great.
top tier
Smart
move.
move.
Top tier move.
Yeah.
Put that.
Yeah,
I
right?
want that girl on my team in the
Right?
if
For
shit goes
real.
down. That was a heads up play. Paul's dumb fucking pool move didn't work.
I mean, in fairness to him, and I was reading stuff about it. Like, I think it's one of those things. Like, the plan made sense with the information that they were given. They did not expect things to go the way it did, but like they were not good at improvising after that.
I guess my question is, so the plan was always to get it to walk into the pool towards Jay.
And then electrocute them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Both of them? Because
Well,
Right.
I
No,
think
I
the plan
assume-
was for her to get out in time, because that's how he grabs her. Like, she's trying to get out. They're gonna wait, and then
I think they assumed that it would just walk into the pool and walk underwater, and she would swim out, and then
Okay.
they could electrocute it.
I also, and this could just be nothing, but I was like, when Paul gets hurt by it, it looks like he has like gashes in his side.
It's great. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to really ever get addressed. But when she gets grabbed in the pool, it's like burn marks.
I just assume, like, I didn't look into it. I didn't think about it much. I just assumed that he just got bruised by it, whereas when it grabbed her, maybe it also bruised her, but also because it was like grabbing her as opposed to hitting her, it left a different imprint. That was how I read it, but I didn't think about it that hard.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be nothing. Like, it's just whatever. It doesn't matter. But that's, I mean, to move over to some of my like confusion with the logic of the thing is that, like, up until the beach scene where they all interact with it and they know something is going on, it seemed like the thing could interact with physical things, like break a window, but have no interaction with anything else. But then when Paul gets involved, I was like, wait, so everyone can actually, like, the thing is physically there in like a real sense. How does no one else feel that around them at any point? Like, when the scene behind Dom, like, if someone that large was walking behind you in a doorway, you wouldn't feel that?
I mean,
I
it's like
imagine-
we talked about Yara being the one that was asleep and not
fair,
paying attention to
fair.
anything going on.
Okay, so, yeah,
I-
what if it's
think-
like chills on, like, kind of like, you know, like the urban myth,
Yeah,
like
I
chills
feel
on the
like
back of
it's
your
not.
neck or something?
I feel like it's not causing wind. It's not emitting any like body heat or anything like that. But it will have a physical effect on things. That was just how I assumed things.
Yeah,
would
so
go.
like in that same regard, that's a very large thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Footsteps, you know what I mean? Like it's just like
Yeah.
things like
Okay.
that I'm just like, I'm confused of what are the, I want the rules. Give me the rules. And they set the rules when he tapes her to the chair, but it still seemed like it was only you are going to see this and it's going to eventually kill you. No one's going to see it or whatever, but it is there. It's just invisible. And the other thing being is like, the shape-shifting thing doesn't matter to me. Okay, I'm on board. Fine. Where does it go, and what's the radius, and how does it just always? You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. I don't know
Where
how.
does it go?
Yeah.
Where does it go? It just follows them.
No, I know, but like,
The title.
so they drive far away to that beach place,
Yeah.
and it's just slowly
walk over
walking,
there.
and then ends up there.
When they go to the pool, they say, "How long do we have?" And she said, "I don't know, probably a few hours." It's just walking,
I don't know.
and it walks faster depending on who it is. Because when it was Greg, it was fucking flying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I get it.
I was trying to decide. So, at the pool, it was their father.
See, I read that
After
and, like,
it
I
killed
wasn't
Greg, it
picturing
was
pieces.
Greg.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
Greg before it killed Greg.
It was Greg walking
Was,
into
yeah,
Greg's
yeah.
house as well. Yeah.
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 And
I
it
was just
Greg's,
trying to-
Greg's mother.
It was Greg's mother in the house. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Part of the rules of it are like, oh, it might appear as someone that you love or you care about. So like, she saw it as Greg. Greg saw it as his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But those were like, other than I think it was Yara briefly.
Because it tried to fool her. It tried to fool her into feeling safe, but it was Yara there. But it's the other people at the beginning of the movie. I have no idea.
Well, that was what I was trying to figure out. Is this guy like we never got indication on who this guy was, right?
Right.
No. Or the first two females at the beginning of the movie.
I imagine one of them was the girl from the beginning of the movie.
Yes, that's what I assumed. Yeah.
Well, was one? No, I was gonna say was one of like when they were at the beach and they were holed up inside that shack, or whatever.
Yeah,
and like
one of them was a kid
on the bottom.
Yeah.
Was that the kid that's been like peeping at Jay?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but that thing was also on the roof at one point too.
And it was just an older guy, but I don't know who that was.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're all supposed to have some sort of significance.
Yeah, I feel like
when they're in the movie, there at the beginning, a woman in a yellow dress or whatever. So like,
we never see that though, right?
No.
I meant to pull it back to see if there's like a woman in a yellow dress standing in the back of the theater, but I guess it's not really important. Like that wouldn't mean anything to us.
I thought that I wasn't seeing it because like we as the viewer are seeing it through Jay's eyes.
Yeah.
And since Jay can't see it, we can't see it.
And like retrospective things too, I think that like that smile fucking definitely got a lot of inspiration from this movie, because I don't know if any of you guys have seen Smile, but it's like has a very similar kind of vibe to it and everything. Oh, Smile. Double feature next time. We're gonna do Talk to Me and Smile. Back to back. Let's go.
Cool. You pick great movies. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely deals with some heavier topics, and I feel like Barbarian did a similar thing where it dealt with some heavier topics about certain things.
And
so, but that seems to be like a theme for modern horror. I don't know if old horror also has that sort of like they deal with very specific like theming. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure depending on your personal history, or maybe if you're a woman, this movie might affect you in a very different way. It might have some different messages coming through, because again, it's from Jay's perspective for the most part. So you are getting maybe a lot of the thought and anxiety that comes with being a woman in dealing with those things. I did also read a few different things after, just because I kind of wanted to see if, just what other people were thinking and saying about the movie. And one of the things that I read said something about, it said something about like this being a thing about mortality, which I don't know if I pulled that out of that. With like, it said something about like some of the ways that it presents itself are specifically talking about that. And I don't know. I thought about some of the versions that it showed up as, and I was like, I'm not getting that from it, but maybe that is there. I don't know.
I didn't really see that. The one thing that I was just going to say, because you had brought up, like, if you were a woman, you might watch this differently. Just, like, she passes it to Greg so that, like, because she, like, thinks, like, oh, Greg's not, like, afraid of it, so he'll be able to handle this better.
Yeah.
But, like, he doesn't fear it, so he doesn't, like, even consider it. That feels, like, on par with, like, almost, like a sexual assault kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, it won't happen to me, so I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think they all do play a specific role that way.
And then he gets literally banged to death. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then the scene with the guys on the boat, like that whole scene, like you're just like, oh, okay. Yep.
So that's the other thing that one of the things I read did talk about. The person, whatever I read, they made it seem like, oh no, she doesn't have sex with the people on the boat, and
I kind of
Paul
got that
doesn't
vibe
have
from
sex
that,
with
too.
the sex
prostitute.
walkers.
That's what I saw. I saw people say the same thing.
That makes
And
sense because the Paul thing makes sense, and
That's
I
not
kind of got
the
that
vibe
vibe
that I
too.
got, to be honest. I think that they both did, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this movie leaves it like so, like kind of like you kind of. It's up to you to fucking.
I do think that, again, there's some stuff that I think we probably can all agree is pretty on the nose about what they're talking about, but I think there's a lot of stuff to think about and a lot of things that you can interpret how you want. Like I don't think they line everything up for you to do that. And I wonder if that's one of the things that maybe leaves a wider audience reception to be it's not like a fully resolved situation. So maybe that is an issue people have.
Yeah, I guess you could argue that nothing, like you could say that Jay didn't want to pass it on, and then she gave it to Greg because Greg was nearby, and Greg seemed.
She was also in a no-win situation at that point. She was stuck in a hospital bed.
Yeah, so like she
If
gave it
it
to
came
Greg.
to the hospital, she was going to die.
She was gonna die. So like she gave it to Greg. Greg seemed okay with it, and like it was kind of, I don't want to call it. I'm gonna call it consensual rather, where like Jay knows what's going on. Greg knows what's going on, but he doesn't believe it. But like, you know,
So
what I'm getting at is like I don't think that situation was different than the guys on the boat. I don't think that she would be like, let me just give it to these guys on the boat to like buy myself some time. But maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's up to what maybe you put yourself in Jay's shoes. What would you do?
Yeah.
But I think you do bring up an interesting like comparison. So like Hugh at the beginning, it seems like the two of them are having a consensual relationship, consensual sex, but he's withholding very important information. So like he is betraying her trust, not being a good person, doing that to her.
Yeah.
Like you said, Greg is aware of the things at stake, whether he does or doesn't believe them or thinks he would be fine. I think that also plays into like, a specific archetype of, when you're younger, I think a lot of people think they're bulletproof, think that like, that can't happen to me. This is not going to happen to me. What Dom said that earlier, this couldn't happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. So he, I think he's willing to do that because he doesn't believe anything bad's going to happen to him. Also, unless I'm remembering this incorrectly, after they have sex in the hospital, does it not show him sitting at like a cafeteria table, like talking to girls?
Yeah.
So I did kind of take that as maybe he then just went and passed it on a few more times, which is why there's a gap between someone coming to kill him.
That's what I mean, not that it's what I assume, but like comparing Greg to Paul, I'm like, if he passes to Greg, if Greg is like even the slightest bit concerned about it, it's like he could pick up whatever he wants and be like, this is your problem now for at least a little bit, and then if you die, at least then I know this is legit. Paul, I don't know what you're thinking, Paul. You're a madman. You believe this is happening. You've got the bruises to show for it, but you're like, I want to smash. And okay,
I'm trying to figure out like if it's like Hugh is the gonna lie to you about this, and then you have to deal with the consequences of that. Greg is the I'm bulletproof, I'm immune to this, or whatever, bravado. What is Paul? Because it does feel like
he's the I'm gonna lie to you because I believe you, but I am just lying to you because I want to bang you.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is there like
I believe you. I'm gonna fucking smash a prostitute afterward, and then we got some time. If you want to smash again,
they bring it up at the beginning of the movie when Yara. I think it's what Yara is reading throughout the film. So maybe there's some more context to.
I'm sure she's. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she's important, like in what she's reading out loud. But I
spaced out every.
Forgot to look into it.
She is reading Fyodor Dostoevsky's *The Idiot*. So I don't know what the what that maybe that holds some more meaning. I wasn't going to read that.
She also
to find out.
She also specifically says that Paul is the idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I do. She has a quote at the end of the movie that is from The Idiot, and I'm going to read it in a second. But before I do want to bring up that the only moment of levity in this whole movie is in that same scene where
She farts.
Yeah, I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget what it was. I have an idea. Farts. Oh, it got away. I don't know. That was the only time where I was like, oh, maybe this movie will have a little bit more.
Yeah, there's no jokey jokes in this movie at all.
Does not.
Yeah, right.
No, it does not.
My kind of movie. It's like Long Legs. No jokes in that movie.
I don't want to go off on a tangent on this, but like the second time that it shows up when it breaks through into the kitchen, why does it pee all over the place? Like that. None of the other ones have like a additional thing they're doing. They're all just.
I feel like the mom peed a little bit too, right? Or was that
I don't
Greg
know.
that was peeing? Who was peeing there? Someone was peeing.
I don't know what was going on. There were fluids.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was like specific to the person that it was being.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring up that we like briefly touched on like him passing, like him getting it at the hospital. So they're like banging in the hospital bed. The scene before that, the family is all
They're all there.
And it just switches to the banging. And I'm like, what is
Down bad
what is happening?
left. This is where people left. There was like a during that scene where they're banging. There was like a brief moment at the end where Jay's like looking up to the side.
She like turns and starts looking, and I was like, is she just looking at her sister? Like, what is happening?
Like, oh my god, are we gonna look at Paul and Paul's gonna be fuming over there like
right,
getting cooked? I'm getting cooked.
Always.
He knew he got cucked though. In the following scene when they're in the hospital, he's watching. He knows.
Oh yeah. 100%.
He's like, oh, why? Dude's like, well, we banged already. He's like,
because the other dude slowly like rubbing. He's like watching his hand rub her leg, and like you can see him fuming. You know?
At the beginning of the movie, do they ever talk about how Jay knows Hugh?
they just kind of say that she's seeing somebody, but I don't think they established like how they met.
Okay, because again, he's going by a false alias. He seemingly went to school somewhere not in their town. So I don't know. It's not really important. I was just curious if there was like something I missed with that. So the quote that she reads at the end is, "In the most terrible agony may not be in the wounds themselves, but in knowing for certain that within an hour, then within 10 minutes, then within half a minute, and now at this very instant, your soul will leave your body and you will no longer be a person. And that is certain. The worst thing is that it is certain." I don't know. I thought it was a good quote. But I do think it does, without knowing what The Idiot itself is about, it does, I think, lend to the overall themes of the movie pretty well.
Yeah, and I think you could make the read that having sex is like going into adulthood, and then going into adulthood is basically like facing your mortality, and that is kind of
actually that's a good. I mean, I think that's a great explanation right there.
It's like, hey, yeah, now that you're an adult, someday you're going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to catch you eventually.
Yeah, death is always.
Try to avoid it.
Death is always on its way.
Like being a kid,
the slow creep of death.
Yeah, being a kid, it's like, hey, your whole life in front of you. Now that you're an adult, you got to think about things. You got a mortgage. You've got insurance to pay.
I'm trying to just get a quick summary of what The Idiot is about. The author asks what makes a man an idiot, and if such a person is able to be loved or hated. That's a long. I'm not reading all that.
This summary's too long.
Well, it was also like someone's like interjecting more of their thoughts and more not just like this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have time to parse that right now.
I clicked on a thing and the summary started with like religion in Russia, and I was like, all right, well, this movie has nothing to do with that, so I'm done with this.
Maybe it does. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know enough about religion or Russia to say.
Or the director.
Or the director. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the sequel is called They Falls, by the way. So
yeah, no.
Do with
there's
that
apparently also a spoof of this film.
That seems like a weird thing to exist.
Is it a porn spoof? What's going on?
I don't know. And there's an episode of Atlanta that does like a very similar thing like if you're holding, I think it was if you're holding an air fryer, there's like always an old woman on a scooter like chasing you.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's surely a movie. It definitely has.
It's surely a feature film at about an hour and 45 minutes in length.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that this movie didn't do well. I feel like random like horror movies do, like movies that like I think look like trash do well. No, but like I think
it's
like
no Conjuring, obviously, in terms of box
yeah, but like I when I say like
well.
did well, I would have assumed this movie did like 60 million easily, like no problem. Even with like the budget, whatever, because like maybe the marketing, they had no marketing. That's probably why they fucking. That's it. This just probably comes down to marketing.
When did the Babadook come out?
There's some shitty horror movies that come out, and I'm like, that looks like absolute trash. And it gets, everyone thinks it's trash, but it still makes like fucking like 60 to 80 million. I'm like, how did that movie make that much money?
The Babadook was 2014.
That's the same year, isn't it?
This was 2015, I believe.
Okay.
Would you like to guess how much the Babadook made before you look it up?
120.
Budget of $2 million.
120.
60.
10.5.
Oh.
I've never even heard of the Babadook, to be honest with you.
A few people talked about that movie too, so I just assumed that.
I think part of it might be that like we're looking at box office numbers, and this may have like picked up steam after it had already like been released. Like Babadook, I feel like it was in theaters, and then the internet got a hold of it and was like, "Oh, like we need to watch this movie." Like I feel like that's probably part of this film.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about horror or follow horror to like speak on this confidently, but I would imagine most horror movies don't have great box office runs. I mean,
they're
especially something like this.
In general, yeah.
That like, you know, Todd said this airs more on the art house side. I'd probably agree with that. I mean, it's not traditional jump scare bloody horror, so maybe that hurts box office. Maybe, I don't know. And I mean, it does deal with some pretty overt themes that I think that, you know, if you get the summary of what the movie's about, you might just be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't want to watch that movie. I don't know.
I don't remember what the trailers were like. And again, I'm going off topic here. I don't know if you guys watched the trailers for the new Transformers movie. It made it look like it was like this jokey, whole crazy movie. People are saying this Transformer movie is incredible, and like the marketing team failed that movie miserably because they made it seem like a kid's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna make another wisecracking joke, and everyone's like, no, the movie's incredible.
I mean, I'm trying to. I don't know enough horror movies by name to even figure it out, but I'm looking at 2015 box office top 200, and I'm trying to find a horror movie in here, but the closest thing I've found so far is the movie Room a horror movie or like psychological thriller or something?
It's like drama, psychological horror. Like it's more drama than
so
anything.
Ex Machina, psychological thriller maybe. That only did 36 million.
I'm not surprised by that.
I also wouldn't classify that as a horror.
I wouldn't put it in a horror, but at least like it's heavy themes.
This is a horror film.
Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if I can pick anything out of this.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Are you looking for something like a horror film that made a bunch of money?
Not necessarily
because we could do that.
I mean, I'm just looking.
Easily.
I'm just looking at the year specifically and seeing if something else.
Wait,
because Todd made it seem like the Babadook fucking was this big deal and no one's talking about it.
No, I didn't even. I didn't bring up the Babadook. I've never even seen the Babadook. I think Mike said the Babadook.
It should have been around there.
I'm sorry. What movie? Everyone keeps saying it. Gotcha. Well, it's different. That already has cachet.
Example.
That's like a Friday the 13th movie coming out, which maybe they don't do well, but it has the cachet.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is like I don't look up any of the new Halloween movies. I don't know that they would have made a ton of money.
Look up this movie, Brenden. It's the Ouija board movie. Ouija.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, but like I'm curious. That movie probably made a lot of money.
Yeah, but like you're.
But that movie like had no one in it. Yeah. What was the
budget of $5 million, 103 take home. I mean, again,
that's insane.
but it's but again, you're talking about a movie called It Follows, and you're talking about a movie about a Ouija board. Like, it already has more cachet.
I don't think more people in that time period knew what a Ouija board was compared to, like, I feel like that kind of died after like the 2000s.
All right, Todd, you know. No one knows what a fucking Ouija board is in 2014. What are you saying?
That the kid audience at that point, like, because these movies like are like more like the 17, 18-year-olds. Yeah, these are PG-13 horror movies. Like these fucking like.
Well, first of all, PG-13 release compared to a rated R release, those are not going to be comparable numbers. You're apples and oranges right now. You're not making a good comparison.
How about Prometheus?
I'd call that more sci-fi. I'd call that more sci-fi. There's definitely some horror elements, but
I was only going to say that because it wasn't advertised as being connected to anything.
Yeah, but
really?
I don't think so.
It was 20th Century Fox, so it probably had plenty of promotion, and it had big actors in it. Charlize Theron is fucking Magneto in there.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if he was like as big at that point.
No, he was pretty. He was like he was coming off of like First Class and shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a director that it's seemingly none of us knew. Todd, do you know this director? You follow this director?
The only other movie I know he did was an A24 movie with Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man, not Toby. I forget his name.
Andrew Garfield.
And it was like one of the few A24 movies that didn't review as amazing as most of their movies do.
I mean, the cast to me looks like a lot of people's names that I don't know. So like.
There's no one in this.
Again, you're comparing it against like things that I don't think are good comparisons.
We'll Get Out.
For the first few minutes, or like for a while, I thought Jay was Dakota Fanning's sister.
Elle?
Yeah.
I mean, was Get Out his first horror movie? But again, I feel like he also I think there was a lot of buzz around him breaking off for what he was known for. I mean, it's not like he was an unknown person. Key and Peele is like
I think Get Out's like way more of like I think that movie like everyone loved, and like it was like way more of like a movie for like people who aren't like crazy in the horror could get into that movie, where like I think Us and Nope is more like kind of like you gotta like really invest into these movies. And I think Get Out is like a phenomenal movie, but like
exactly,
I would have used Us, but that's his second movie, and Get Out had a bunch of buzz. That was what I was going. Why I was going with Get Out.
Get Out, I saw an early screener for it, and like I actually walked away from that film going like, actually, that was tight,
right?
And I'm sure that did, not me specifically, but I'm sure a lot of people walked away with the same thing, and like that really helped the
word of mouth
release. Yeah, the word of mouth.
Yeah, I think that had a lot of things going for it. And again, I don't know what this movie was being marketed as or how it was being talked about, but I think there are probably better movies to compare
Unfriended.
It to, I don't know.
Unfriended, I'm looking at that list. I'm pretty sure Unfriended was a horror film. Let me double check. Yeah, that one.
Yes, it's rated R horror mystery thriller. Budget of $1 million. It did 60, just shy of 63 million.
I think what that is.
If I remember right, was that the one that was like all on Zoom? Or like it was like a.
I mean, if we're doing those kind of movies, then what about Paranormal Activity?
I don't see it on this list. I'm looking at 2015, like the.
I'm just trying to think of like horror movies that like there was nothing about until they were in theaters, and then like the buzz was what.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity, was The Conjuring part of that, or is that a separate thing?
Conjuring was a separate universe.
I do want to, again, like, bare minimum, you hear Paranormal Activity, you can at least, like, in your brain, picture something. If you hear It Follows, I don't know what that means to someone who doesn't, you know what I mean? I think
and I don't know, you're like, I get what Brendan's saying, confining this like very tight though. Like I don't know that there's going to be another movie that we could.
No, I'm sure there are. I mean, I think Unfriended is a closer one. It still did better, but I do think again, it's like up front, Unfriended. You can just imagine it's about social network situation, right? I don't know
Paranormal
what the movie's
Activity
about.
was like fucking,
but that would be my guess.
massive, like success.
Yeah, if I remember right, Unfriended was like
Also,
It's like
Paranormal
a-
Activity had a budget of $15,000
I was
according
gonna
to
say that
Box Office
movie,
Mojo,
those
and it
movies,
did
and
almost
fucking,
200 million. So that's
I was gonna say,
like a
insane.
crazy success.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like Blair Witch. Blair Witch has like started all
But
this.
that was all word of mouth.
Yeah.
That was my point. Is like,
Do you remember? I don't know, like how old you guys were when Blair Witch came out, but people were like, "Wait, is Blair Witch real?"
Oh,
like,
Blair
everyone was
Witch-
confused. Like
I mean,
everyone was like very confused.
I guess I want to. What you're saying, Dom, is extremely valid. It was more against Todd saying that like certain things do super well, and it's not fair that It Follows doesn't. And I think that It Follows, at the bare minimum, struggles with some of the other examples of big name actor directors, or it has an established thing. Like when Todd said Ouija board, it's just like a Ouija board is a thing. You know what that is.
Yeah, but like
You know what it is.
sure.
what about the
but, like,
Bye Bye Man? Remember that one?
Is
Bye Bye
Ouija
Man?
board still a big thing though? Because like Liam like doesn't talk about that shit. Like I don't. What I'm saying is like I feel like Ouija board was
Is
a big thing.
Liam
when
is
we were
Liam
elementary
the
school
target
time.
for that movie?
Oh, he's dude.
Does
Fucking
Liam
Five
know what
Nights
a
at
slinky
Freddy's
is?
and like all that shit. He knows what a slinky is. He fucking loves his slinkies. No, I'm just saying like I don't know if Ouija board is like a big part of like us getting older. Does Ouija board still hold the same kind of thing that it did when we were younger? And like I just don't feel
I'm
like
not
it
saying
does.
it does or doesn't, but it's like it's a thing. Like it is a thing.
Sure.
So even
I
if
don't
you
know-
just Googled Ouija, you would get things. If you Googled It Follows at that time, I don't know what you're getting.
I don't know what this conversation's about anymore.
I don't
so-
know.
Neither.
I'm done with it. We're over it.
There's a
We're
movie
just
called
going-
Terror,
Oh,
right?
How about The Ring?
Oh yeah,
What for box office or that was a massive success
in general.
Well, my point is like The Ring. You don't know what it's about. It doesn't
Yeah.
like.
It,
I mean,
well, everyone
it
knew
was-
it came from like
But it was
Japanese
DreamWorks,
or
so
Chinese.
was it being promoted with
Yes,
proper
100%.
commercials
It was
and
also a good
proper
movie.
like ad spots in places?
Wasn't The Ring also like an adaptation?
It was that adaptation, yeah.
of a Japanese.
But it was
Yeah,
like a.
yeah.
It was like a. Was The Ring Korean
Okay.
I thought it was
This is-
or
Japanese.
was The Ring
Yo.
Japanese?
I thought it was
And
Japanese.
The
One of the
Grudge
two.
is Korean.
I thought they were
Alright.
both Japanese.
What do you think that's?
like,
What do you think
I
the
thought one
critic
was
score?
Korean.
What do you think?
I don't
the
know
critic
enough about it
score?
to say.
Critic score of The Ring. What do you think it was? Because I think that movie's a very like. I think that has
I have
like.
no idea.
I
I
think
couldn't
The
tell you.
Ring might have been in the realm of like the critics were like, whatever, this is like.
It's 71.
in a-
Okay.
Is The Ring the
What do
one
you
where the
think-
thing comes through the TV?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you
So,
think?
I also wanna
it's
say-
iconic.
Yeah, like it had very striking visuals that I think
100%.
got immediately parodied. Like there were like fucking
What do you think the
MTV
user
Movie
review-
Awards fucking
I
skits.
think
Yes,
the
Like there was
user
just
was
it was
higher than the critic. I'm
User
wrong?
is 48, which
wow.
makes no sense to me because that was like the biggest movie when I was younger, and like I don't understand the 48%. I don't get
I
it.
am
Like,
curious right now. I want to go back to.
I'm very confused by that.
It
That
follows.
like fucking.
I want to see what it recommends as movies.
Oh, it's a good.
Recommends It Comes at Night. I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, I know what that
Evil
is.
Dead, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, Unfriend, which is different than Mike's thing.
Weird.
Oculus.
Mm.
Yeah, so not much.
Let me see. It Comes at Night has an 88 and a 44. What year did this come
Yeah,
out?
people hated that.
2017.
It was like about like a monsters. Like
Box office.
it looked like a good movie. I thought it had the dude who plays one of the dudes from a Warrior, not fucking.
Budget.
Jake-
Oh, Egerton.
Yes.
Budget of It Comes at Night. Budget of $5 million, and it
I'm pretty
did
sure that was
20
1924.
just shy of 20 million. I think that's a more fair comparison. They also have very similar titles.
It's funny. It's funny because people didn't like that movie because like it gets.
This
no
has Joel
explanation.
Edgerton in it.
Yeah. And
I
people
don't
didn't
know
like
what
that
it is,
movie
to
though
be
because it doesn't explain anything, and people hate when you go see a movie and you get no answers, which I get.
It's Uncle Owen from the prequels.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was
okay,
trying
yeah,
to say. That's what I was trying to say when you were like, I was like, what? I know.
I'm like, I
Star
know
Wars.
his name, but I think I'm picturing Joel Kinnaman.
Let me
yeah.
look at one of the other ones. I don't know. I also don't know what we're doing anymore. We're just looking things up and talking about it.
Queuing up the game. Queuing up the game.
I was trying to disprove Todd saying that, like, you know, again, it's still a box office success. It's getting a sequel. It did 20 times its budget. I think that's a W. I mean, would they have been thrilled if it did 200 million? Yeah, of course. But I think.
Yeah, when you set the bar that low for yourself in terms of budget, then you can make relatively a paltry and still come out a success.
I feel like in general, horror movies have a low budget because they know they're not going to return a big.
That's why the girl who plays Jay, Micah Monroe, is so smart because like she's done she's like the new like scream queen girl that people say like the final. She's like in the top tier of final girls.
What about her? What about what's her face from
Mia
X and Maxine?
Yeah, Mia
Mia Goth.
She's up there, but like this girl is like in like The Watcher. Like I said, there's another movie I watched recently that was great, and she's in fucking like.
Who were you saying? I'm sorry.
Jay, Micah Monroe. She's in Long Legs.
This actress. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. But she's like literally like just picking like low budget horror movies as her main thing, and they've all been like pretty big successes.
Known for It Follows, Independence Day Resurgence, The Fifth Wave, The Guest.
The Fifth Wave is the one with.
What's The Guest?
I don't know.
Fifth Wave was about aliens invading Earth, and I want to say it had Dakota Fanning. It had somebody. The main actress was somebody I knew.
I'll click on.
I never watched it.
Chloe Grace Moretz, Matthew Zuck, and Gabriela Lopez. The Guest is.
I think The Guest is like more of like a horror.
Lance Reddick is like the only other person that you probably know.
Dan
I feel like
Stevens, Sheila Kelly, and Micah Monroe.
Yeah, I don't know. I got The Guest like in my head. I'm picturing both The Menu and Hide and Seek, both I've never seen, but I feel like it's in that realm. I could be entirely wrong. In fact, I'm almost positive I'm entirely wrong.
Let's see. A Quiet Place had a budget of 17 million, did 340 million. I feel like that's probably another outlier in that scenario.
But I feel like
Paramount, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Paramount Pictures, it has top level people in it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
also,
another non-established movie is what I'm saying. Like before.
Do you see the in that movie at all? Like I feel like that's a movie that actually had to use its budget.
What?
Outside the actors. I never saw it, but I'm wondering if like you
I didn't even know that there were aliens in it, Mike. I had no idea.
I don't think you see it in the first movie.
Only at the end.
Yeah. At the end in the car. Yeah.
When they when they figure out how to like actually deal with them, there's like another scene at the very end. Like that movie's not that good.
Well, it did a lot better.
I didn't hate the first one. I didn't see the second one.
Second one was terrible.
There are 3 of them right now. 3 of them.
Yeah, the third one's a prequel.
Yeah, I didn't hate the first one. I would have to rewatch it. I don't remember a lot of
Quiet Place has got a 96.83.
The first one, like I had issues. I'm like, why are you fucking having babies if you can't even fucking like talk or move or like what are we doing here? Like you guys are. I get it. You need to bang, but like use your fucking brain at least at this point.
I mean, Paul didn't.
Yeah, I mean that's different. Those are kids.
Neither did Greg, adults. To be honest.
These are grown-ass adults that lost their child in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie. They're like, we're gonna have another one while we fucking can't fucking talk or do anything, and it's gonna.
You know what?
Like, what are we doing?
So okay, hold on. To pull it back to the movie, and then we're done with this. All of this.
Which movie? Which movie?
The movie that this episode is supposed to be about.
The last 10 minutes.
It seemed like Hugh was outrunning this thing for a decent amount of time. Like it seems like he's been.
So my impression of the film was that we have an opening scene where the girl dies.
Yes, and that's the girl that
is the girl that he passed it on to.
Yes.
And so we pick up at the point where he realizes that it's coming after him again.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So when they go to that abandoned house, that's where Hugh was staying, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
At some point, they say he was renting a house under a false name.
Which, where's he getting the money? I don't know. But do you think
his mother was like, "Oh yeah, come right in"? So,
do you think that masturbation plays a role in staving it off? Because he did have a lot of dirty magazines, and there were a lot of crumpled up tissues, and my boy Paul was just getting in there. He didn't care. There were tissues all over the place.
I assume that was his conscience. He's like, I really need to get my rocks off, but I can't go fucking people with this monster chasing me. So let me just get a quick one out. Let me get another quick one out. You know what? I've got fucking bottles hanging over the windows. I don't know if someone breaks in. Let me get another quick one out.
All right, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know if that like bought time. If he's just like, let me crank one out, it buys some time.
If anything, that would accelerate things. Like, oh, who was the last one he had sex with? Himself? Oh, put me on fast forward. I'm getting in there.
I don't want to give him too much credit, but at the beginning of the movie, Jay
he set up
says
a whole
like
was that was like booby trapped. He was
no.
That thing was chasing him for a while.
He was doing a Home Alone.
Not about that.
Okay.
My point was going to be that he at the beginning of the movie, it feels like he thinks that it's not chasing him anymore until he sees the girl in the movie theater, and he's like, "Do you see her?"
Yeah.
So it's like at that point he knows that it's chasing him again. Yeah. So I don't want to give him too much credit, but maybe he was like holding off. Like Jay at one point like says like, "Oh, it's been a while, and like we haven't done anything yet." Was he like trying to make? But then he saw it and was like, "All right, now we got to do this because like I."
But even then, so I guess I don't know if this is ever established in the film, if this is how it works. Like, if he were to pass it on to someone, does that mean that if he were to go have sex with someone else, would he pass it on to a second person, or did he already?
No,
pass it on?
I think it always has one target.
That's how I figure. That's how I. Now the question is, if you have sex with somebody, and then they have sex with somebody else, and then that person has sex with you again, how does that work?
Are you in the loop twice?
Human sex.
Are you in the loop? What?
Yeah, they multiply. Two of them come out.
Oh, okay. I got my pick now.
There's sequels to that film too, right?
Yeah.
Look at that one on Box Office Mojo. How'd that one do?
I'm not. You can look that one up. I'm good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I'm trying to finish this.
Anyways, it was a film. I don't want to say I'm happy that I watched it, but it was a movie.
Listen, I'm chipping away at you. With the horror movies.
So you can continue to try to make something happen that's not going to happen. There are other good movies that exist. Like, again, we've watched plenty of good movies that I would never pick to watch, and I'm like, oh, that movie was fucking great. And this was not one of them. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. Hate to
95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Listen. When I pick this movie, when I pick this movie, I know for the most part that you're not. If I pick a horror-ish movie like this, for the most part,
that's what we're doing. We're just doing
100%. Yeah, and one of these times I'm like, oh, maybe he'll come out and he'll be like it, and then I rewatch it today, and I'm like, yeah, he's not going to see like this.
No, I actually like actively disliked watching this movie for different portions of it, and part of that was because the movie was doing its job and making me feel uncomfortable. Like I was like, there were so many moments of nothing that I'm like, well, something bad's gonna fucking happen soon. Like something's gotta happen soon, and it does in certain moments. I think tee up for there to be the expectation of a jump scare, and it doesn't do it. But it never does it. I don't think. It never does.
It doesn't have any crazy jump scares.
No, but I wouldn't even call any of them jump scares. Like when she goes to the
kid jump scares.
I'd call the thing behind Dom probably the biggest jump scare.
Yes, that was probably the biggest thing.
The kid poking through the door was kind of
like. But you knew something was going to be there. You knew it was going to be there.
But I mean,
it's the same thing with the kitchen. Like when she goes into the kitchen, you know. And the way that the shot is framed, it has her from the side with the camera in the kitchen. So I was expecting like there was a hallway next to her, something to come out of the hallway. And it's like, no, the camera's going to turn around and this thing is pissing on the floor. Yeah. When it changes forms, though, to the thing behind Dom, yes. No thank you. But anyways, Mike, before you reveal your pick, I'll give you some time to figure that out if you haven't yet. I'm going to outro the show. Mike will do his pick. We'll do the game, and we'll end this episode. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 440 of the Pass the Controller podcast. We appreciate you. If you want to support the show, you can do that in a bunch of different ways. The easiest way to do that and the freest way to do that is to just leave us a 5-star review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you engage with the show, leave us a quick review. Make sure you're subscribed to us there. It's super beneficial in helping us continue to grow the show. We'd appreciate you if you did that. If you want to spend some money, you want to support us monetarily, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us over there. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and getting some swag. Though I will say at some point soon, some of the store might change and some of the things may come off the store because we might be printing some stuff locally. I haven't fully gone down that road, but the store might be changing at some point. So if there are things up there that you want, you might want to figure that out because they may be coming down. They might all be coming down. We'll see. You can also go to patreon.com/passcontroller and getting some swag over. Getting some swag. Uh-oh. Mike, can you double check if the stream just died on Twitch?
Let's see.
I got a weird error. It still says it's going, but I just want to make sure it's actually doing
Looks
something.
like we're still live. Ooh. Let me see. There's an ad playing. Actually, I think we're still on.
Okay, that was weird. I mean, as long as at least the hard video is saved on my computer, we're fine. But anyways, everything else looks okay. Cool. I don't know what I was saying before, but we do record the show live every week. So if you are an audio listener but you want to catch the live show, just go to twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you can't catch the live show, no problem. You can go to youtube.com, type in Pass the Controller podcast, and we'll pop up for you there. So without further ado, Michael, do you have your pick for October?
I never thought about it that much. So I might have to just lock in what I said before.
What did you say before?
Which was I just had it open too. Hold on a second, let me just make sure
Mike, we're doing a double feature, right? Pop Star.
double feature.
Don't Stop, Never Stopping.
Yeah, Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Never Stop, Never
Wait,
Stop.
Pop Star has
I
a
thought it was
sequel?
Don't Stop.
No, that's just the full title.
That's the
Pop
name of the
Star,
title.
Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Yeah, I thought it was Don't Stop, Never Stopping, but
Me too.
Is that your pick, Mike? We're going the Andy Samberg route?
Yeah, why not?
yeah, let's do that in Hot
I've
Rod.
never seen it.
And Hot Rod,
Oh,
why not?
I'll do a double. I'll double down.
Why are we doing a double for no reason?
I mean, okay, you don't have to. You don't have to.
You're on a big Andy Samberg kick right now.
I mean, I am, but I haven't finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine yet.
Oh, let's do the
Palm Springs.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Am I the
Hot
only one
Minute.
who's Palm
Springs is
Springs?
so good. That's so fucking good. I love that movie.
Brooklyn bombastic.
I love Dom. I
Boo-boo.
love the actress, Chris. What's her name? The one who's in the Penguin Show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Palm
the
Springs, she's so
mother
good.
from
the mother
I
from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
The-
I know.
Seen-
Now that Brooklyn Nine-Nine has switched for me to Peacock, getting into season 5, I have come to a screeching fucking halt watching the show because
What?
there's so many fucking ads. I hate Peacock so much. It plays so
What
many
do you
commercials.
use?
Spend
What
more
is that
money.
usually on?
I'm not
Is there
spending
ads
more
on Hulu?
No,
Is there
it-
ads on Hulu?
I don't have ads on Hulu, I don't think.
Oh.
You pay more money then.
Whatever. I'm not paying more money for another thing. Fuck Peacock. I hate
I know.
Peacock so much.
I use
Netflix,
Peacock
I
more than I
blew
use
through
Hulu.
that show because there's no commercials. Is there a tier of Netflix that has commercials now?
They're working on
Yeah.
it. I don't know if it's out yet.
No, I think it
Gross.
exists.
All
Is it
well,
up?
whatever.
I
Fuck
think-
that.
Like a
Yo, we're coming full circle. We're coming right back to
Yeah,
cable, baby.
we're
We'll be back to cable in a
We're
little
already
bit.
back.
It's
Yeah,
it's
right,
less
for real.
because again I watch things on everything and some of them do have commercials. I think Paramount Plus has commercials. Like I
It does.
don't want to say I get it, but like it's not that I'm
No, I don't get it.
immune to the idea. I fucking hate commercials, but Peacock is like 4 to 6 commercials per episode, and it's like
love it. Brings me back.
now I can't watch this because it's so much longer to watch one episode. It's driving me insane. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm at a
Yeah,
standstill.
when a commercial comes up, though, I can go get a beer. I can go get some food. Sit right back down.
I want to blast through the show. I'm having a good time. I'm laughing. I don't need a 90-minute fucking ad about shit I don't care about for no fucking reason. It's so much time wasted for no fucking reason. Also, I just hate the Peacock app. I think the Peacock app is so fucking clunky.
It's the only one that's good.
Huh? What is happening? Are you actually like the Peacock app?
Honestly, the only app I use right now is probably Paramount Plus.
I mean, that app also fucking sucks. But the Peacock app
like
is
it.
garbage. Do any of you
I don't
like
mind
the
it.
Peacock app? I think it's so
I think
slow.
Hulu has the worst user interface.
Hulu is also not great, but like Peacock just is always slow. If I watch on my phone, it's fucking slow moving. If I watch on my TV, it's fucking slow. It's just like the menu. It's so bad. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't really watch much TV though.
I don't either. That's why I pay for streaming services, because I don't watch cable.
Yeah, I pay for way too many streaming services and I don't watch. So that's the problem I have now. It's like $150 a month of shit. I probably watch like once a month.
Is this your pick, Mike? Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stop.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Let's have fun.
Is it streaming anywhere? Do you know?
It's on Pluto TV for free.
I don't know.
It probably has ads.
Okay. Is that a thing I have to download? I don't know what Pluto TV is.
If you don't have Pluto, I suppose you could watch it on a browser on your computer too.
Okay.
But otherwise,
that is Mike's pick. The 2016 comedy musical Popstar, Never Stoppin', starring Andy Samberg and.
If you just go to Apple Movies, it just lets you play it. So I mean, Apple TV app or whatever.
Okay, there you go.
Because it's on Pluto, I think it automatically just lets you play it.
Gotcha. What do I think this movie is about? I don't know. Andy Samberg is a pop star or a budding pop star, and that's what I don't know what else this could be about. Maybe he's too old to be a pop star and he's trying to be a pop star. That's what I'll go with.
You want a double feature of Pop Star and Weird? Both Pluto features.
Weird Science.
Weird. Oh,
also a good movie. Did everybody else see Weird?
I have not.
No, I still did watch Weird.
I actually do want to see that movie.
I could pick Weird.
I could, but I've already said.
Mike, you could pick.
I've never seen Pop.
You could pick Purple Rain.
I've never seen Pop Star either.
I could. I was talking about Purple Rain with somebody recently, like outside of us going to that bar, and they were like, "Yeah, watching it now, it's tough to watch it now because domestic violence just isn't cool."
We missed the month, but it is the 40-year anniversary this year of Purple Rain.
Crazy.
Double feature?
I mean, hey, listen.
The Purple Rain came out.
You'll do a double feature for Purple Rain, but you won't do an Andy Samberg double feature?
I feel people weren't on board. I don't know people were on board with a double feature for Andy Samberg.
I wanted to do the double feature for
it doesn't matter.
Clerks.
It doesn't matter, because if we do a double feature either way...
No, it wasn't going to be Clerks. It was going to be
so.
Clerks and Mallrats, not Clerks and
whatever
Clerks
it was. We still didn't do it, so I'm
still sad about that. I needed to do Clerks because I needed to introduce you to the universe, and then I was
on the other side. On the other side of It Follows Now, I'm even more furious that this month could have been a double feature of Mallrats and Clerks. Like, that's what we could have had.
You almost had me. You guys,
listeners and viewers out there, that's what we could have had.
It's okay. Maybe next time.
The leaderboard for the year is Dom at 48, Todd in second with 40, and Mike in third with 35. Because it's a movie episode, we're going to play the movie game the way the movie game works. I pick 3 movies. I give random clues of what the movie is. Whoever guesses the movie first gets the point. I have scrapped all of my movie picks tonight because we just talked about too much shit and our brains went in a bunch of different ways. And
was The Watcher one of them?
Also, no. The people in this film, sometimes I like to branch off of them, and there's not a lot to work with there.
Yeah,
so
you wouldn't know.
But even then, there's usually like ways I go like, oh, this to this, and then I keep moving. But we're not doing it that way, and we're changing what I was gonna do initially because that's just how we're getting down today. So this might all be devil horns, this might not. We'll fucking find out.
We got a half hour of game right now. All right, get ready, boys.
No. All right. This will be
This movie stars Robert Downey Jr. and it came out in 2008 where he's a superhero. What's the movie?
This movie has 7 people from the MCU.
Listen, this will be a good if we're going down a devil horns route. If this first movie is too hard, I will change it up again. This 2015 rated R film.
Oh, this is Todd's wheelhouse right now.
Clocks in at an hour and 39 minutes.
Oh, goodness.
So it's not It Follows.
Wait,
I
wait.
find 3 different
Is it-
ways to talk about It Follows.
Is it follows?
No,
Damn.
it could have been. It was the wrong time though.
It's-
Movie was an hour.
It
and
was
40 minutes.
it was a wrong time, but I was like, maybe I was
Maybe this
misinformed.
one's a different cut.
This
exactly.
this film has a 37% tomato meter and a 19% popcorn meter.
Oof.
Whew. That is rough, buddy.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like The Tortured, Good People, Cop Car. Sorry, I'm reading these titles of these things, and I looked over in the corner of my eye. I just saw Plain Cook again, and I laughed. Missionary, and The Woman in the Fifth. I promise there are ways to get this to be easier.
Yeah,
the problem is going to be if no one knows the movie.
I don't think if I know what the movie Good People is.
This movie
Yeah,
has
kind of rings a bell, but it doesn't.
0 award wins and 0 award nominations.
What? I am
Why
shocked,
even bring it up?
baffled.
Uh,
What?
The 19 users, like, giant red flag.
The third billed actress
Killed herself after this film came out.
Yeah.
has been nominated 41 times with 11 wins, including 1 Oscar nomination for this movie.
Okay. All right.
Wait.
No,
She
not for
was
this movie.
Okay.
She has 1 Oscar nomination for a 2023 Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role.
Oof.
Damn.
My brain's not functioning that well to go back, even though it's like last year. Who won last year? Oh, okay. Oh. No, that's
Yeah,
too
I don't
early.
remember.
That's too
I don't
early.
remember anything.
Okay,
from
I'll give you
last
the
year's.
movie. Blonde.
What about Blonde?
Oh,
That should give you the
that
actress.
was the movie. That was the
Wait,
yes.
that's the actress that won or that was nominated.
Nominated.
She was
Oh,
nominated.
okay. I was like so confused for a second. I was like, she definitely didn't win for that.
Do you all
I
know who
do
the
not
actress
know.
is?
I don't know her filmography enough to pick out a film from
do.
2015.
The second. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. Well, we know it's Anna de Armas. I don't have to. Jump
Oh, we
around.
just gave it to one. No one else knew.
The second billed actress, you may know from such films as this one,
Oh my god, I know this movie, but I don't know the name of it. So like,
Once
I will
Upon a
never get
Time
this
in
movie.
Hollywood, Life Itself, and
no.
Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. That's a TV series.
So I'm just gonna state right now, I know this movie,
Mhm.
and I will not, unless something clicks in my head. But I'm not gonna be able to get this. I don't think anyone else is gonna get this either.
Can you give me the movies? The movies I have Penny Dreadful in my head, but I couldn't.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay,
I
should be
forget the
fine
other.
there.
I mean, we can go down the top billed actor. It seems like Todd
I
knows
kind
who
of
it
know
is,
why
though.
Brendan. Oh yeah, you're doing this because of a trailer we watched probably the other day.
I can't tell you what this actor is.
Ballerina is why like we're doing this because there's a lot of moving pieces from that trailer. I'm helping everyone out right now because I don't think
I don't
anyone's
know why
going to
you're
get this
doing
movie.
that.
Because no
Yeah, I
one
don't-
is going to get this movie. If they
Okay.
do, then I
All
think
right.
they're cheating.
The top billed actor you may know from such films as The Matrix or Speed or Point Break or Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh. Is
Don't know
it
the name of the movie.
begins with an
Frank's gonna get it.
R, right? It was like
Reminiscence.
No.
yeah,
That was
If I'm-
that was a different movie.
2015.
I
I'm
can tell
picturing.
you guys the premise of the movie if you guys.
Is it
want
the
to
one
know.
where like his family dies and like he brings them back as robots?
Oh no, you're way off. Okay, maybe I won't tell you the premise of the
You
movie.
may know the director of this film from such films as Thanksgiving, Borderlands,
Wait,
Inglourious
Maybe I'm off.
Bastards,
Then.
Oh.
Maybe-
or Hostel.
2015.
Apparently,
Roth.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
whatever.
Green
We're,
Inferno?
all on the
okay.
we're all on the same
Yes, it
The
was-
page.
Green,
it's
is it the
Eli
Green
Roth.
Inferno?
Eli Roth, Keanu Reeves, Anna de Armas.
It's not the Green Inferno, right?
Incorrect.
Okay. Wait. So he directed that movie? That makes even more sense now why it was fucking terrible. Oh no. I like fuck. I just I don't think.
I'm just gonna give you the plot summary. When a
Can
devoted,
I do it? Can I do it?
sure. If
A
Todd can
married
give me,
husband-
if Todd can give me the
Listen.
plot summary, does he get the point?
No, but a married dude, his family goes away, and two unsuspecting people come knocking on his door, and he ends up fucking banging both of them, and the rest goes on from there. And I don't know the name of the movie.
That,
I don't
that
know
is
this
the
movie.
plot of the movie.
No, give Todd the point. Like I have no idea what film it is.
What's my
I
name?
don't know the name.
What's my name?
Uh,
What are we doing? Is this a no points or is Todd getting the point for
I'd say
that?
it's a no point. No,
Honestly,
you gotta come
honestly,
up with a
I'm
movie.
fine giving Todd the point.
No, you got to come up with.
I mean, he didn't give the name of the film.
He didn't
No,
give the name of the
and I
film,
don't-
but he seems to be more
I
aware.
feel
of
like
Okay,
I could
I will
possibly,
give
if I had a
you.
lot
I
of
will give
time-
you one more clue, and this is specifically. I mean, someone else can also guess, but this is specifically to aid Todd in maybe pulling this out of his ass. But again, if you think you have an idea, feel free to blurt it before he does. The title is 2 words,
Yeah, that's.
and they are the same word.
Knock knock.
It is indeed knock knock, and Dom gets the point.
Okay. Hey, you
People
know,
come knocking on his door, huh? I
Yeah,
don't know.
right. Yeah,
oh my
right.
god, no, that
Yeah,
checks
right.
out.
In the movie, see, I would have never guessed that in a million years.
You gave too much, Todd. You shouldn't have done that.
Listen, it's whatever. I knew I,
I mean,
wasn't
to
going
be
to
fair,
get it.
to be fair, Dom only got it because you said.
The
Well,
plot.
same
Yeah,
word.
no, Todd,
Plot.
yeah, Todd gave him the plot.
Todd
That-
the plot, but then you said
Listen,
the
The second that when we said Ana de Armas, and then the second, I was like, oh, okay, so we're definitely talking about Keanu. And I was like, it was fuck.
all right, we're gonna.
Eli Roth directed that movie though. That's so funny. Eli Roth sucks. I don't know why people even do his movies. Like, I don't get it.
This
Well, he had. What
I
did he
don't
do?
think
Did he do-
Hostel was good. Hostel was whatever.
I think people like Hostel.
Just
Hostel.
torture porn.
Hostel.
It's just torture porn. That's
I
all
know,
it
but
is.
people like that. Hostel might be like one of those films where like
His best thing he's ever
He
done
made a lot of
is in fucking Inglourious Bastards as an actor.
yeah.
movie number 2. This 2015 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Big one right there. It's too long for Brenden.
Definitely.
It's true.
This has a 25% tomato meter, but a 41% popcorn meter.
Oh.
I don't think telling you more like this is gonna help anything because I don't know what any of these are.
Oh,
would you
have
like
fun with
Would
it.
you like me to spare you?
Nah, I think it's
No,
just.
no, read
fun
'em.
to hear these-
All right. I do have to skip one for reasons I can't explain yet. You may also like Honey Glue, the only living boy in New York. Last night, and where are your friends?
Simon and Garfunkel's best song.
This film was nominated 30 times with 9 wins, including an Oscar nomination in 2016 for Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture Original Song.
2015. And it had great music. I forget the rest of the information given to me, so carry on.
Because of the multiverse, you may recognize at least one actor/actress from this film being in the MCU.
Okay. Jeez. That truly.
Oh, it's
Barely
Peter's
narrows it
neighbor,
down.
right? The girl with the pigtails.
The one that like builds her, like cooks her, bakes a cake or whatever.
Yeah, I forget what her name is.
You may know the third build actress from such things as Zero Dark 30, A Quiet Passion, the Pride and Prejudice TV miniseries from 1995, or Little Men?
Truly did not help me.
You
I'm
may
gonna say none of us do recognize
Yeah.
her from those films.
you may know the second billed actor from such things as the TV series The Fall, A Private War, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, or this film.
Okay, I did see Barb and Star.
I definitely saw the poster for that film.
This
I don't even know what that
actor
is.
has 31 nominations and 14 wins to their name, including a nomination for a BAFTA. I don't know if that's
Good for
helpful.
them.
And a nomination for a Golden Globe in 2022.
Hey,
What else
that's
was in
decent.
that movie?
I'm gonna go where my brain's going. It's not The Green Room, is it?
Incorrect.
But people like that film.
Let's
It's great.
do
It's
this.
it's not Well Received. Okay, because I was thinking fucking the X-Men thing.
Oh,
Whatever
James
the MCU
McAvoy.
thing.
Oh
And I
wait,
was
no,
thinking,
Green Room is the one that
and they're
has
like they're a punk rock band. So I was like, oh,
that are
maybe the song.
neo-Nazis or something.
Yeah, well, no, not the band itself, but like the place they play for is neo Nazis. But
With a-
Patrick's
With
whatever
a
his
budget
name is.
Stewart.
of $40 million, this film took in $569 million
wow.
dues.
What was it? I'm sorry. What was the Rotten
Rated
Tomato review on this
R.
again?
The Rotten Tomatoes were like
Was low.
It was bad,
Yeah, it
right?
was like 2740 something or
And it
something.
made 500 million.
2541.
What
Is it
was it rated
Krampus?
again?
I'm sorry, what?
Krampus.
I don't know what Mike asked. It's not Krampus. What did you ask, Mike?
Shit. What did I just ask? What was it rated?
R.
R.
2015.
Is it Jupiter? I forget what the movie's called.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah. Is it Jupiter
Incorrect.
Ascending? I don't think
That movie did not make 500 million.
Well, the thing is, that when
The
I was scrolling through that
lead-
list,
Uh-huh.
no, I was saying when I was scrolling through that list, I remember the name that popping up on the list. I'm like, I thought people didn't like that movie. I'm surprised they made that much money, but whatever. Go on. The lead act.
The lead actress, you may... Whoops. The lead actress most recently starred film currently has an 11% tomato meter and a 57% popcorn meter.
Okay, so critics hated it. People hated it less.
Is there a through line to these movies by any chance?
2015.
2015
So far.
rated R films.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In that film that this actress was most recent the lead of,
Okay, the new movie.
it had
Not
a-
the movie that we're guessing.
correct. It had
Okay.
a budget of fuck. Why doesn't it list the budget here? That means it's not good.
In a budget of question
Wait, this
mark,
movie
and
made
it
500
made-
million.
With
so
made-
according to Google, a budget of 100 million, it has a box office of just over 100 million.
wait, did you say it made 500 million? Or am I?
This is-
two different-
Yes,
is-
this is.
Oh,
If I
okay,
tell
sorry.
you more about the lead
Yeah,
actress,
yeah,
I
that's
think
fine.
it's going to be extremely
easy
obvious?
to pick out who it was.
Okay.
but I'm trying to lead you towards the lead actress because once you figure that out, you should be able to guess the movie right away. But
500 million is like a box office fucking.
Especially with that
That's a-
budget.
that's a-
yeah,
that's a big deal.
2015, 500 mil, big deal. This film is an adapted work.
Is it?
No, incorrect.
Yeah,
The,
part
the
two?
lead
That was
actress
2014.
film came out this year.
The lead actress film.
I'm gonna ask a follow-up question. The lead actress film from the 2015 movie. She's not the lead actress in this film from this year, right? She was just
No,
in it.
correct. Is the lead actress in both films.
Oh, she's the lead in both films. Okay.
This film is part of a series.
The Scream?
Incorrect. It has sequels and maybe a prequel.
What did I see this year? I might have not seen it. That's entirely fair.
I'm gonna go off base right now. It's not Fury Road, is it?
Incorrect. At least Mike has seen the movie that came out this year. I don't know if we all have. That should be a clue for everyone.
Okay.
Mike sees a lot of movies, though. Actually,
it's true.
So maybe it's not a clue.
As soon as we wrap
Mike
up,
has
I'm gonna go
talked about that movie on the podcast. And you know what? At some point, Mike has probably brought up.
I'm not there.
Incorrect. And at some point, if Mike hasn't brought this correct answer movie up on the podcast, someone has definitely brought up an anecdote about this movie that is incorrect.
I'm not there, though?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No. Scratch that. I lied. I just conflated two different things. So that's not a clue. I apologize.
Let's see. I don't think it's this actress because I don't know what she would have been doing in 2015. So let me move around. What else did I see? What are they?
I feel like Mike's talked about a lot of movies, but like I feel like you wouldn't see like that one bad.
According to a quick Google search.
No, I would have watched a movie this year that starred an actress who starred in the film that we're trying to guess.
Part of a franchise. Wait, the 2015 movie is part of a franchise, or the new movie is part of a franchise?
Both.
I've never seen someone look so disappointed.
Maybe
he's just like, fuck.
Maybe they're just all connected.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Oh, so it's 50 Shades of Grey.
It is indeed 50 Shades of Grey.
What connects them all? It's Dakota Johnson.
It made that much money?
It's fucking 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, like
the next clue I was about to give you was that the book that the movie's based on has sold, according to a quick Google search, over 125 million copies, and that was as of 2015. So, like, that's not accounting for the last 9 years.
I was stuck on the music thing.
Oh,
I was thinking that was like a movie, a music related.
I already forgot about that aspect.
Didn't Taylor Swift also have a song?
She did with a guy from
Zayn, right?
Well,
Zayn,
it wasn't Oscar. It wasn't Oscar nominated.
It might not have been the first movie. It might have been one of the sequels.
That's also possible.
When you said this year, I was thinking Borderlands because he's talked about it on the podcast, and that's what made me go to Kate Blanchett, and then
And I was thinking about Fury Road, but I was like, I don't know if Anna Taylor-Joy was doing stuff in 20.
No, I kept on saying movies that were like highly received, and then I keep on forgetting that he said it was like.
Yeah, it was a bad movie. Yeah,
it was a bad movie.
I just was stuck on the music thing, so I kept wanting it to be a music movie. I couldn't get past that.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was gonna be a quick layup because we're almost at 2 hours. I was like, 50 Shades of Grey will be a quick W.
Who's gonna fucking guess 50 Shades
I saw that movie this year.
Who else is in that movie? Who was the MCU person? Oh,
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. Yeah.
I was trying to lean really heavy into it's Dakota Johnson. Someone guess this fucking movie. I mean, is she known for anything else? I don't think she's known for anything.
A movie I picked called I forget the name of it, with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh yeah, she was in that movie. She wasn't.
Yeah, but she's known for fucking 50 Shades of Grey.
Cha-Cha, Real Smooth.
She's known for starting the Ellen DeGeneres slide.
Bringing her down.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she was on Ellen, and Ellen said, "Why didn't you invite me to your
called
birthday
out
party?"
Ellen in front of Ellen. Yeah, it was great.
All right, let's bring it all home, boys. Movie number 3. This 2015 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 1 minute.
Is it Unfriended?
Incorrect.
Right,
Breaking the mold here. This has a 92% tomato meter and an 85% popcorn meter.
Oh. Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Sabotage. 999, A Walk Among the Tombstones, and Black Hat.
This is not related to this question. I'm just curious. You had mentioned before when you were doing Madam Web that I think it had said like a movie that you would like, and you said I can't say the name of this movie.
One of the other 50 Shades of Greys?
Yes.
Oh, probably. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was actually, again, it had a different title, so I'm assuming it was a prequel.
50 Shades Darker?
No, it was called, Freed.
I think it's the third one.
That's one of the sequels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was related because at the bottom it said, like, 50 Shades of Grey story, and I was like, I'm not reading this one out loud. With a budget of $30 million, this film took in just shy of $85 million.
Interesting.
I was thinking of something, and now it's definitely not what I was thinking.
So, received well, but it wasn't like a box office smash.
Waiting for this next tab to load. Apologies, but
Is it Us?
incorrect. This film has 157 award nominations, including 15 wins. Among those nominations, it has 3 Academy Award nominations. One for Best Achievement in Sound Editing, Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures Original Score, and Best Achievement in Cinematography. You may recognize multiple people in this film from the MCU.
What was the Metacritic again? I mean, whatever the point.
God damn it, Todd. High.
90
They were high.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
like
90
90s,
something,
80s.
80
They were
something.
high, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was like, yeah.
Let's see. Let's take a little sneaky peeky. You may know, and this should be a clue for you on the back end if someone picks it up, you may know the 4th billed actor from such things as The Wolf of Wall Street, King Richard, The
John
Accountant,
Bernthal.
and Fury.
You're welcome, everyone. John Bernthal.
You don't get points for giving them clues.
I know. Leveling the playing field, all right.
Wow. Todd's confident that he, let me check,
Is
hasn't
it
scored tonight.
Sicario?
It is indeed Sicario.
You're welcome.
That's not the goal, Todd. The goal isn't to get dumb there. Yes. I figure let's do Sicario, because why not? I was going, the regular tonight
I'm really
was gonna
good
be
at
horror
knowing
movies,
everything
and then I
except
just
for the
did
answer of the
2015
fucking.
movies.
Yeah, I'm good at knowing everything except for the answer of the movie that I need to know.
We'd be a great trivia team.
100%.
But
No, listen,
otherwise-
trust me, I agree.
Anyways, this episode is way too long. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.